Hello, blog reading cuties. This morning I woke up, today's September 16th. I get up in the morning, I think it was like almost 4 o'clock in the morning, and I was freezing. I had to put on an extra cover, I was so cold, it was dark out, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's fall. And it's always strange when the seasons change, I always feel funny about it. But one thing that always makes me feel better, that can completely change my mood, is music. And that's true of everybody. Music is just a universal, it has something about it that affects everyone. And I wonder why that is. I wonder what it is about music that can completely transport us from, from feeling one thing to feeling something completely different. And I think it plays a really big role in a lot of different belief systems. You go to a church, or different kinds of churches or yoga centers, and everyone has their own sort of way of singing that raises the mood and just makes you feel so much better about everything. So later on tonight we're going to talk to Dalian, who is a Grammy-nominated musician and a wonderful kirtanist who plays all different kinds of interesting instruments. Like he plays a hang drum and he plays Native American instruments, and I'm so especially drawn to the Native American sounds, because once they start playing, just as soon as it starts playing, I'm just completely somewhere different. So let's talk to Dalian about what it is about music that affects us so deeply. So let's go find out. Okay, let me see.
I'll try to be serious.
You don't need to be serious.
With the camera on, I get all...
It's all good, it's all good.
Oh,
But first, say who you are.
My name is Dalian, also known as 13 Hands. Did you get that?
I got that.
All right, I'm not English, but I play in English for this blog.
So you are a Grammy-nominated musician.
Yes.
What is it about music that is able to transport us? Why does it affect us so profoundly?
Well, it seems like a simple question. That's a very, very deep and layered answer. Vibration music in general obviously is very appealing to our mind and body processing, just because if we kind of dissect it down to brain function, every thought and everything that goes on in our brain everything that goes on in our brain is essentially a musical note. It's like a symphony orchestra of Neuralimbic activity. So though we can't hear it externally, obviously, but our body is feeling and processing information, and these messages have a wavelength and a frequency, and obviously chemicals as well. And so there's this very unique relationship to sound and vibration. So when we hear music and all types of, especially world instruments, if we talk about the healing and the calming aspects of sounds, you find a lot with spiritual music and chanting and even Gregorian chant and the ancient music, minimalistic types of sounds that were repeated over and over again. And the shamans talk about, like, you could take a rhythm and like tap it like, what is it, like, I forget what it is, it's like 3 or 4 times per second. If you do like 4 taps per second, and just like with a shaker or a rattle, you can take the brain into this deep place of like complete relaxation and actually tap into like almost like a waking dream state.
Right. I know that it's so powerful, and I know that it has such an effect on me, and it could just change my mood drastically and really quickly. I just never really understood what it is about music that has that power.
It's the frequency. I think what it's basically doing on a basic body level is allowing your sympathetic nervous system to have a parasympathetic response. And because of the life that we live in this modern world of America, or just capitalism, and we're very busy, trying to provide for ourselves and have multiple jobs, we're always having like sympathetic states going on. So the minute we hear something musical that like takes our mind and body and just kind of like feels like it's hugging us, it can calm us down, because it's showing us, it's training us to breathe more deeply. And a lot of times when we live in this fast-paced society, we're not breathing very deeply. It's very shallow, very staggered. So the more we expose ourselves to these types of experiences with sound and music and chanting, we're able to really start to see how the breathing gets very, very calm. And then we're getting more oxygen, circulating into the system. And then that's going to improve people's sleep. And then you can always get profound change in someone's attitude, mental health, physical health, when you start tackling the sleep cycle. And then from there, obviously exercise, and you can't keep eating drive-through every day. So I mean, I think it's a snowball effect. I think sound is a very easily accessible modality. It's so real for all of us, and it speaks to all cultures and races and nations. It sounds like a big speech I'm giving, but it's a unifying force. Music, even like folk music or rock music and chanting, it all has a purpose in the grand design, and it's uniting not only our body and mind together, but it's uniting us together in spirit as a tribe. And it's just calming to do this, whether it's, I'm doing kirtan tonight here at Freehold Yoga Center, but it's a combination of just letting sound and the intention of the person who's playing the instrument, like what's coming through me, my heart, into my hands, as that can affect everyone in the room. If you're angry and you get behind an instrument, that might come through.
Right.
And it's possible. These are some of the ideas that are out there. So everything that you're thinking and feeling as a musician is important prior to picking up that instrument. If you're, potentially going to help people relax and get into that nice calming centered space as you do in like chanting and kirtan.
Another part of it I hadn't even thought about, where the musician is coming from.
Yeah, it's all part of the same thing. It's breathing, and then we realize that we can start to feel this way all the time. We can be busy, but we can have a very deep, long, integrated breath, so we don't feel like we're burning out.
Right.
Because our lower chakra organ systems are the ones that feel the fatigue, the kidneys, the adrenals, those little dancing kidneys.
Excellent answers, Aileen. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Bye, Blogland.